like that bird. Remember, I used to teach elementary school, so I miss some of that sometime. But anyway, thank you for clicking on the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Today, we're going to talk about a serious issue, and that is the sons of single mothers rise up. A few weeks ago, when the incident happened in Chicago, where the young man attacked the mother and the 14-year-old had to come in and protect his mother, somebody asked me to speak on that. And I didn't, because I just did not know what to say, because that was just so out of the ordinary. It was very much out of the ordinary, and we have to acknowledge that that was not normal. Most black men would not do that. Furthermore, from all that's been reported, those two people didn't even know each other. It's not even clear to me what triggered the whole thing. It appeared, just looking at the video, that she was standing in line and he came and jumped in front of her. And possibly she told him that the end of the line was in the back. But whatever she said to him set him off, and he went into a rage. And he started ranting on her like, she better shut up. And then he balled up his fist. And if she didn't shut up, what all he was going to do, and did it. He laid into her not one time, but 2 or 3 or 4 times. And then all of a sudden, the 14-year-old made a decision that this is what I'm going to do. Since black men won't protect black women, I'm going to protect my mama. So this is the single mom's son rising up and saying, you don't get to do that to my mother. Now that's how I read it. That's how I read it. That grown man that was assaulting this child's mother put that 14-year-old boy in a very bad situation. He put a child in a man's position, but the 14-year-old rose to the occasion. There have been several situations in the national forum where black men have done some unusual things. And the unusual thing was to come to the defense, you might say, of white men who we all look upon as being racist. In my state of Alabama, Jeff Sessions was the Attorney General for the state of Alabama for several years, and then he became a senator. And then when Donald Trump ran for president, when he announced his presidency, he chose Jeff Sessions as his Attorney General. Jeff Sessions had a history in Alabama of anti-civil rights activity. So the civil rights people began to speak out against him and talk about some of the things that he had done to prevent black Alabamians from exercising our civil rights. Well, who came to his rescue but some young lawyers from Alabama? Young black lawyers from Alabama that Jeff Sessions had mentored and hired to work for him. They came to his defense and said he wasn't a racist. See, this is black men coming to the rescue of white men that are perceived by black people to be racist. Now, the most recent event in my state of Alabama, again, Tommy Tuberville is a senator from the state. He was a coach at Auburn University. And only thing that most people in Alabama hold against him is that Auburn couldn't beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl. So that's about the biggest problem that the white Alabamians have with him. But people again say he's a racist, and he comes across as, if not a straight out racist, somebody who leans toward the right of right. So who comes to his defense but football players from Auburn? He's not a racist according to them. He's one of the best white men they've ever met. Now, why is this happening? Several of these young men are the sons of single mothers. These white coaches take up time with those boys, and I'm not talking about just in college. When they're trying to win championships, they start mentoring these boys when they're in middle school and high school, and sometimes even in elementary school. In Tuscaloosa County, they have something called PARA. That's the Park and Recreations Association, where they will have little league football teams. Those white men work with those boys. They work with them in middle school, and they work with them in high school, training them, mentoring them, talking to them, giving them money, supporting them, and taking them places that they wouldn't go if it weren't for the white coach or the white man trying to help them, just like on the blind side. That was an extreme case of it. But white people start doing that when those boys are in elementary school. They will support them. And so the black boys bond with the white man. So while the white man sees potential in these young boys when they're very young and will invest their time and their money and resources into these young boys, black men are out here yelling to anybody who will listen that they can't stand single moms and they don't want anything to do with their children. Well, white men are not saying that. There are a lot of racist white men, but all white men are not the same. They might be racist in one instance and not racist in another. So what is happening now is that these young black men who have been mentored and befriended in some cases by white men are pledging their loyalty to the bridge that brought them across. And it took a while to build that bridge. The white coach was there when their lights got turned off, when they needed food on the table, when he needed shoes. The white man was there when granddaddy died and they needed $300 more to get him buried. So the white man was there when they needed somebody. He invested not only in the young man, but in the family. It is not unusual for these young boys to have sleepovers at their coaches' houses. And also, the coaches would stand in the gap for them and stand up to racists when those young athletes face these racist white people who always want to reduce everything to be about race. These white coaches will stand up to these racists and defend these boys, and that is one reason why they respect these coaches. They take them to Alabama football. They take them to Auburn football. They take them to SeaWorld. They take them to Disney World. They spend time with them. And even though the men are white, they spend time with these black boys. So we can always get on social media and talk about white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. But when you're living in the projects and you don't have a father figure, and somebody comes in and says, well, come on, we're going to go over here to Alabama and we're going to watch it. We're going to watch Iron Bowl this weekend and take time with your son. So the white men are putting in time with these boys. So when the white man gets in trouble, guess who comes to their rescue? Those boys who know them more on a personal level than somebody on social media calling them a white supremacist. So some of these sons of single mothers are rising up and they're speaking very loudly and they're saying, my loyalty is not to you just because you're black. Because when I was a kid and I needed you to say good morning to me or help me fix my bike, you scorned me and you scorned my mother. They don't see their mother in the same light as these black men see their mothers. They don't see a woman that needs to be demeaned and degraded. They see their mother. So they don't have any respect for black men that they don't know, and they don't feel any loyalty to them. So the sons of single mothers rise up in power. And not only that, some of these black men are so mean and so selfish. Not only do they not want to be involved with a single mother and her children, they don't want other black men to be involved with a single mother and her children. Some black men have the gift of fatherhood, whether they have biological children or not. And here they are on social media demeaning those people and making all kind of critical and derogatory statements about these men because they have the gift of fatherhood. Boyce Watkins said, I like fathering black children. I like being a part of these children's lives. And he has become enemy number one to these Negroes on social media. But those children are going to grow up and they're going to love what Boyce Watkins did for them. And when Boyce Watkins is an old man and needs somebody to come and help him manage his business or take him to the doctor or come to see him wherever he is, those children are not going to forget that. Somebody said to me, well, you must have been a single mother. One of your daughters must be a single mother. No, you don't have to be a single mother to see the humanity of a single mother. A lot of these young girls are abused. My brothers are principals and administrators in middle schools, and they have 12-year-old girls coming into the school pregnant. Not by 12-year-old or 14-year-old or 16-year-old boys, but by 20 and 30-something-year-old men. So their lives have been stunted and their growth has been altered before they even reach the age of reasoning. Yes, there are problems in our black families. There are parents who do not properly supervise their children, girls or boys. That is a problem in the black community. That does not give you license to go into that family and abuse and misuse those children. So this is something that black men need to be made clear. Many professional black athletes are products of a single mother household, and they show athletic potential very early. Coaches are always on the lookout for who's standing out, and they will nurture those boys and mentor them and try to grow them into a different type of man. Now, sometimes they return to that black male culture that Cynthia G talks about, but very often they take their lives in another direction, and that is usually because somebody was there to mentor them and help them through those difficult times. Very often that's a white man, and they are going to show some loyalty to that man. White men don't feel the same way about things that black men do. And I do know what I'm talking about because I have 5 brothers, 3 of which played football under white coaches from middle school through high school through college. They had a father at home, but their coaches still had input in their growth as young men. So the single black mother is the villain of the black community in the minds of some, but they are producing outstanding young men in many cases, and those outstanding young men are going to make a greater impact on the world than these men on social media who are hating on their mothers and them. If a white man helped you get out of the projects into the NBA, out of the projects into the NFL, and it's usually not a white man, it's usually several white men. The Blind Side is a movie that took it to the extreme, but a lot of that goes on, especially down here in the South, and I'm pretty sure in the Midwest too. The sons of the single mothers are rising up, and they're rising up in power. And they are looking at the people who brought them from poverty to prosperity. Those are the people that they're bonding with. And it's not just professional athletes or very successful black men. It is black men who care about their mothers, who respect their mothers, and who know that their mothers did the best they could to develop them into decent human beings. Those men are going to take a stand too before it's over. And for anybody that's tempted to come into my comment section talking about black women being brainwashed and about white supremacy, save it. I am not brainwashed. Everything is not about white supremacy. Some things are about you being a decent human being. And being a decent human being doesn't cost you anything. So don't come into my comment section talking about white supremacy, because if you do, I will remove your comment and I will block you from my channel, because this channel is not for you. Black people have to step up. We are not an island. We have to help each other. We've always had to help each other. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.